Welcome to Comic Confidential, a pop culture podcast, a weekly show where we discuss the hottest stuff from the wonderful world of pop culture. I'm your host, Cade Moyer, and joining me in the studio this week is Troy Spinner.
Hey, what up, my peeps?
Your peeps.
My peeps.
Oh my god, you're so awkward.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to stop bringing you into the studio and keeping you on the phone.
One day I'm just going to get a real, I'm going to find this thing that's going to work perfectly for me.
Yeah, your groove. You're going to get in there.
I'm going to get my groove back.
Troy Spinner, how I got my groove back.
How Troy got his groove back. What's been going on, man?
It's been a big week for trailers.
It has been.
Oh, Troy, it's trailer showdown. I need a soundboard with some music.
Wah, wah, wah. We haven't done a trailer showdown for a while.
Yeah, it's been a little while. So we got, what was it? Let's say three.
Three main ones.
Three main ones.
Yeah. What are they?
So
tell the people.
We got Aquaman, we got Daredevil Season 3, and we got a boys teaser.
A boys teaser.
We got The Boys teaser.
Yeah, so the thing with the Aquaman one, this is like 5 minutes worth.
This is a short film.
Yeah, this is basically the whole movie.
Yes.
It's all the action sequences jam-packed into 5 minutes, which, after watching it, I'm a little afraid they may have done.
You reckon?
I
reckon they showed a lot of Black Manta.
Yeah. So I think if you haven't checked this out yet, it is. We'll put these things places. We'll put them places. They're definitely in the listener community already.
You know what? I'm going to go the extra effort from now on.
Yeah.
Whenever we talk about stuff like this, I'll put the links on our website.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
On a blog post or something.
Cool. Well, we'll do that, or we'll do whatever, or post them on the Facebook page, whatever it is. But so you can see these things if you haven't already seen them. But yeah, there's a whole kind of Mediterranean rooftop chase, which is where Black Manta is. Which seems like it's, while brilliantly done. Did we just see the whole set piece?
You know what I mean? No, you know what? I don't think we did, because I feel like that part, it's a little bit of a bait and switch, because we see Aquaman. He goes into they actually find Atlantis, because they're all around the world in this trailer by the looks of it.
Yeah,
and
I don't know what they're doing.
Do you
know what they're doing?
Yeah, they're looking for Atlantis so he can get his trident.
Okay, where are they from?
Exactly. This is the thing. It's kind of like,
just use Google Maps, bro.
Oh God, just find it.
Just use the home thing. Fuck.
Yeah, so it's kind of switching everything on its head, because obviously there may have been two Atlantises.
Oh.
The above sea one, because that's what we see in this trailer. I don't know if you realize that, but Atlantis is above water.
Right, well, see, so what I did, though, was I kind of skipped through a lot of it because I didn't want to see too much. Because I started to get the feeling that I'm watching the whole movie here.
Yeah.
So I kind of scrubbed through till I got to the end where I saw him in his classic costume.
That was
the part that I was trying to get to. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah?
Yeah. I thought, I didn't think anybody could pull off the orange suit. And Jason Momoa and James Wan have somehow managed to make it look killer. I think it looks great.
I'm 50-50 on it.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, no, I'm 50-50.
Can I just... So... Just to clarify a few things here, just before we get into this a bit too much, you really dug the look of Lobo from Krypton, right? If you haven't seen that, you guys, it's out there. Check it out. Cade thinks that looks great.
It's spot on.
And now you're telling me you have a problem with Jason Momoa's Aquaman classic suit.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's because it is so classic, and I don't know if it's translating well for me.
Oh, come on.
I'm not saying it's not perfectly represented.
Right.
But I don't know, it just seems a little too...
Oh, you can't... Oh, man.
I think it's just...
considering... You got to think about it like this, right? This is how I look at it. I never thought for a second they would even attempt it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's kind of come on, it looks a bit stupid.
Exactly.
But they did. And they made it look cool. It doesn't look a bit stupid.
It looks a little bit silly.
Whatever, man.
It looks illuminated. It's too bright.
Well, because it's shiny.
It's too shiny, Troy.
But there's the sun
it's
out.
It's glistening.
The sun's out. Yeah. Well, what are you going to do? They're fish scales, mate. Have you ever seen
Have
you ever seen a fish out in the sun?
It glistens like crazy.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
someone wrote a song about it.
Yeah, it's real world accurate. Right?
Yeah, fair enough.
It's probably really slimy too.
Yeah, it looks greasy as fuck,
and he smells.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the thing that's actually putting me off about it the most is it looks like the gloves, they extend out too far.
Well, that could be. We don't know what
it could just be the angle, but it's the number one thing that I noticed. I was like, fuck, that's bright. And those gloves look huge.
Yeah, but think about it for a sec. Like, this needs to be, they're kind of like, they're no different to like any other superhero that might wear gauntlets. Like, you think about Batman as an example, with his gloves that have the little like bladey, wingy things that come off the side. Exactly the same thing.
They're still pretty streamlined, but this seemed to have like flared bits at the ends.
Yeah, because then you
elbows.
couple it with the fact that he's an underwater superhero, and dude's got to have fins.
He's got to have that.
There is arm
water
fins.
dynamics.
There is arm fins.
Arm fins.
Yeah,
I think they're just fins.
You wait.
Hey, look,
Australian Olympic swimmers are going to adopt that suit pretty soon, and they're going to have friggin' arm fins, and they're going to be like Torpedo 2.0.
Wow.
Yep. That's the
2000s
reference. Well, I could have said Michael Phelps.
You know what? I reckon there's a large majority of our listeners who don't even know who the Torpedo is.
Kids, sit down. Let me tell you a story about one of the greatest swimmers of our generation. The Aquaman of our time, you might call him, Thorpe.
Did they ever call him that? Because that's a missed opportunity.
The Aquaman of our time.
Or like even Michael Phelps.
No.
The guy's won like 17,000 gold medals.
I'm pretty sure at some point he might have been referenced as Aquaman.
Maybe.
Who knows? Moving on. Overall, then, what did you think about the 5 minutes that you got?
I loved it.
Yeah?
I'm so pumped for this movie. I had like really low expectations, and they released this, and now I'm set to 12.
Set to 12?
Set to 12.
Damn, that's high.
Yeah, it's really high.
Well,
I can only be disappointed from here on out.
Yeah. Well, so far, 2018 has been a bit of a fizzler for movies. Like, it hasn't been great.
Unless you watch The Predator, which was a good fun time.
Don't even get me started on that, mate. But like realistically, when you're looking at the whole thing, 2018 hasn't been amazing. So I'm hoping that we end on a bang.
Didn't we get Infinity War in 2018?
Oh, look, don't get me wrong. There's been some good things that have come out, but they're kind of few and far between. And even the things like Ant-Man and stuff like that, which, like in my opinion, wasn't that amazing. They've kind of like let us down a little bit.
That's fair.
But we're going to end the year with Into the Spider-Verse, which looks fantastic.
Oh, we didn't talk about that. That's not on our list. Let's talk about that.
Okay, well, we can talk about that.
Holy moly. I was so not keen for this movie.
Yeah.
And now that this trailer came out, I'm on board.
I got 2 words for you.
Spider-Ham.
Spider-Ham.
Oh, yeah. I saw that and I was like, Troy's sold.
Yeah, I am done. I am in.
That was your one request for this movie.
Yeah, give me Spider-Ham. And they did it.
They
listened. Someone listened.
I dig it.
It looks really good, man. This is some of the best animation that I've seen.
It's grown on me. It seems more polished than what the first trailer was.
Yeah, because I think initially you weren't too sold on it.
Yeah.
And I thought, this guy's on crack.
Yeah, and I had a lot of crack that day.
Yeah.
And the animation seemed weird to my eyes.
Yeah.
But I had far less crack today. And it looks better.
Yeah. I've been telling you for a long time. You got to lay off the crack a bit.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, like it looks amazing. And we've it's just, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. The only thing that I will say is that for all of how amazing it looks, Kingpin seems to look very weird.
He does.
Almost like they're trying to do Lego Kingpin.
Yes.
That's kind of how I looked at it. And it's like, why do you look so weird?
What if it is Kingpin from the Legoverse?
Hey, maybe it is.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that would be great.
I feel like it'd look more like a Lego though. Like it'd have the Lego thing.
Maybe the angles are off.
Why do they have things on their heads?
So you could put hats and hair.
Oh,
haven't you ever played with Lego, Troy?
No, well, I was kind of thinking like, because it's like the hole is on the foot. Like, are you just supposed to stack Legos?
Yeah.
Because they made a joke with that with the Lego Batman movie.
Yeah,
they
all
had to
stacked
build those bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, hair makes perfect sense.
Welcome to Lego, Troy.
It only took me decades, but I figured it out.
You almost missed the age limit of 1 to 99.
Oh, just in time.
Just in time. Just snuck in.
Just scraped in.
Got a good 6 months of Lego left in me.
Into the Spider-Verse, though, does look amazing. And we are going to get them both at the end of the year as well. And they're going to try to throw in Bumblebee as well, which we're not going to talk about because we didn't have a trailer, but still. All within a couple of weeks of each other, we've got Bumblebee, Into the Spider-Verse, and Aquaman.
Now that you brought up Bumblebee, I do want to talk about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We got some classic Transformers in here, Troy.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's got their, like, classic outfits.
Yeah, that's cool.
I
But
dig
still, like, I've been hurt before.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm willing to give it a go. Because it's got John Cena in it, or does it? Who knows? You can't
I've never seen him.
Yeah. But I'm willing to give it a shot, but I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. I just find Bumblebee to be the least impressive of any Transformer.
Yeah, it's a weird one for them to kind of go, hey, let's focus on this guy.
Yeah.
It's like, really? But cool, you know, he was.
I guess he's the one that sells the toys.
Yeah, he was the standout for the you know, for the Michael Bay series.
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly.
So, yeah, that's
he
fine.
was the hero car. He was the actual hero vehicle.
Yeah.
By Chrysler. So fair enough.
Fair enough.
But I am digging the old school Transformer looks.
Me too. Like I think it looks cool, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see because I'm going in with the lowest of low expectations.
Definitely. And what's so disappointing about it, Troy, is that they look like they're going to hit their biggest home run on the final movie and cancel that series.
Yeah, and then just start fresh.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got to get back on track because we've still got 2 more trailers to talk about. Daredevil Season 3, what'd you think?
Oh, damn. Daredevil's gone bad. Or has he?
Ooh, he hasn't.
No. Well, actually, we don't know. He's fighting an inner battle.
He is.
So, obviously, something happened to him while he was trapped under billions of tons of rubble.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's getting out of there.
Well, because his senses are enhanced.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Explains everything.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
You know, because like he's got like his touch is really good, so he can dig real good.
he can find the soft spots.
Yeah, exactly.
In the dirt.
Exactly.
And like he knows how not to get crushed under millions of tons of dirt and rubble. Yeah,
exactly.
That makes total sense.
Yeah, because he sees the world on fire.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Yeah, that's almost poetic, Troy. But I am liking it because looks like he's like, I'm done with you guys. If you're bad, I'm going to treat you bad.
Yeah, I like it.
And to be honest, is that really any different to what he was doing previously?
Well, yeah, except like for the whole time that he was doing it, he had Foggy Nelson and Karen Page just looking over his shoulder, just going,
oh yeah, Page was crying at him all the time.
See, this is the thing in this, like, don't know why I have such a problem, but all I can remember from this trailer is the half a second scene where you see Karen Page's wet eyes.
Yeah.
Like she's just crying in disappointment at you. And I'm like, I can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't look at those goddamn disappointed wet eyes anymore.
Meanwhile, she's hanging out with Frank Castle, the Punisher, who's just out murdering people left, right, and center. And she's like, he's troubled.
Yeah, but like she's also trying to, you know, like stop him from killing. You know what I mean? Like
it feels like she has less of an issue.
But she has less of an issue, and he's dead set killing people.
Yeah.
Anyway, this isn't the Karen Page though.
Yeah, true.
We're not talking about Karen Page. We're talking about Daredevil Season 3. Deadpool 2.0, Bullseye has to be.
Has to be.
God, I hope so.
Oh, he looks very accurate with what he's doing.
Oh yeah, doesn't he? Like,
almost,
you know, like he'd hit a bullseye.
Exactly.
If he was playing darts. Right. Anyway, my point is that he looks cool.
He does. He looks great.
We obviously only see him in a Daredevil suit, but that's okay. I'm hoping we get some sort of classic Bullseye suit. That would be pretty sweet. Don't know if we will.
Yeah.
We kind of get Kingpin in a white suit, which
you know
is
what
cool.
I think we'll see is him in a blue version of the Daredevil suit.
What about... Oh, that'd be shit.
Why?
I want the face mask with the bullseye on it.
I don't know if they'll go that cliche.
That's what I want.
Mind you, they went pretty cliche with the Punisher.
Yeah, well, sort of. Not as kind of like... I wanted it to be more of just like a skull. It was kind of too hidden, you know what I mean?
I liked it though. I thought it was like real world.
It was fine.
Still, it was like a bit like no one would really do that.
Do you think, if this is Bullseye, do you think they will kill off Karen Page?
They have to.
Because spoiler alert, comic books.
Yes.
Bullseye kills Karen Page.
Yes, they have to.
But she was also a druggie and not the fucking basically the editor of the world's biggest friggin' newspaper or whatever.
True. I think she will spiral this season.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
And find herself on the wrong line of the law.
Yeah. and Daredevil will have to take her down.
Yeah.
But it'll be Bullseye and he'll kill her probably. And then we got the Boys teaser.
Oh,
so what do you think about this? Because I know you're keen.
I'm so keen. When you told me about this literally minutes ago, Troy.
Minutes ago.
I barred up. I was like, wow. And this is amazing.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Doesn't really give you a lot. Kind of gives us a look at Vought Industries and it gives us a look at the Seven. And you kind of get a look at the boys at the end. And that's kind of it.
I got to see everything that I wanted to see.
Really?
Yeah, I got to see the Seven. I got to see the boys.
You wouldn't want much more than that?
Nah, because...
Elizabeth Shue is in it.
Yes. Oh, Troy. I'm salvinating for this.
Salivating.
Nah.
Salvinating. Yeah, that's a whole new thing.
I made it.
That's where it comes out of all your holes. Oh, wow. One thing I did read as well is that they have managed to cast Simon Pegg in the show as well.
Which is good.
Which is fantastic, because the character of Wee Huey was based on Simon Pegg. Everybody wanted Simon Pegg to be in it. They cast Wee Huey as just some kid with hair.
There was riots in the street.
There was riots in the streets. And they managed to do it, and they cast him as Wee Huey's dad, which is kind of brilliant, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, I kind of dig it.
I didn't actually think of that at all.
You know what I would have really, really liked is... I don't know how far into the boys comic you are.
Volume 4.
Okay. Have you met the part where...
Is it spoilers?
It's very half spoilerish.
Okay, well, half spoilers for the boys, you guys.
Where Huey goes back home.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and you know where he meets the CIA agent?
Yeah.
Be good if it was him.
Yeah, that would have been good too. Anyway, I like it.
It's good either way.
It's good either way. So what we're going to have to do now is you're going to have to decide what your favorite was. Was it Aquaman? Was it Daredevil? Was it The Boys? Was it Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? What are you most pumped for, and what was the best trailer? Go.
I'm going to have to say The Boys.
Really?
Yeah, The Boys. It showed me everything I wanted to see and then didn't give anything away.
Cool.
Whereas kind of everything else has kind of shown their cards.
Well, this is kind of the first thing we've seen, though.
Yeah.
So this is like a first teaser.
And I liked it.
But really good teaser.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the best teasers I've probably seen in a long time.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, Daredevil will be number 2. Easy.
Cool.
That was a fantastic trailer for season 3.
Yep.
What about yourself?
Yeah, so Aquaman, my hype has increased a little bit, which is good.
Even though you haven't really watched the trailer properly.
Yeah, but like from what I saw and what I've seen previously, like I was pretty happy with that. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, my hype levels have already been pretty high for that. Anyway, I'm going to give it to Daredevil.
Yeah,
season 3.
That's fair.
So keen. We get Wilson Fisk back. Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk. One of the best villains ever for comic book movies.
Easy.
I'm throwing it out there. And then I would probably say Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
Because the boys just didn't really give me enough.
Fair
it was
enough.
good, but like, whatever. Cade, it's a known fact that every person in the world loves a good fight scene. Whether it's in a movie, a video game, or in a compilation of teenagers punching on YouTube, a well-executed fight scene holds a special place in the hearts of many an action lover. So for this week, we decided to kick pacifism right in its stupid face to bring you our top 10 comic book movie fight scenes of all time.
Of all time.
Of all time. Now, both got individual lists.
Yes, we do. We got a 10 on 10.
10 on 10 action. That's how I like it. Is there any specific thing that you did when creating your list? Anything you looked at? Any parameters?
Yeah, I kind of had each of these fights is unique in its own way. So it's not just because it could have been a cool thing. It actually did something different that maybe other movies haven't done before.
Right.
Or, other, I guess, retellings haven't done before.
Sure.
So, yeah, that's my little bit of criteria. So each of mine are unique in their own little way. How about yourself?
For me,
it's just rad to the radness.
It's just whatever was the raddest thing that was being rad at the time.
Yeah.
No, look, for me, it had to be physical in some point, in the sense of like there had to be some punching on.
Oh, a little bit of fisticuffs.
A little bit of fisticuffs.
Not like pow-pows?
Yeah, it can't just be straight out balls to the wall like guns and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's got to be some punching on. Some punching and some kicking, maybe some biting.
Yeah.
I'm not against any of it. The other thing that I wanted is I took out most of the major set pieces.
Okay.
So I wanted to keep it a little bit more intimate.
Interesting.
Yeah, so, it's not so much where there's, like 10 heroes versus, 1,000 friggin' aliens from space over Manhattan.
Oh, okay.
As an example, just coming to my head. So a little bit more like that. And, of course, I did keep it to live action only.
Fair cool.
Which I don't know if you did, but I did.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Just, you can do anything with animation.
True.
It's not the same.
It doesn't count.
Yeah. Exactly. So you want to kick us off? Kick us off with your number 10, my friend.
My number 10 is Blade 1, and it's the opening scene of that movie.
Of course.
So this was like one of the first comic book movies that came to the big screen.
Yeah.
And it was an R-rated movie.
Yeah.
And this opening scene of the movie instantly tells you why it's R-rated.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Blade pops into this vampire nightclub dance rave thing.
Yep.
And starts slashing and blasting and stabbing people to the wall. And he's like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing that kind of
lets it down.
That lets it down is when he stabs that final guy. He does that. Yeah. It's like, come on, man. Like, you were just being serious that whole time. Why you gotta look weird? And then I don't think he really does stuff like that again.
No. It's like it kind of tries to set the tone for the movie, but then it's never looked at again.
Yeah. Like Wesley Snipes is just like, I'm going to throw this in here for shits and gigs.
Hell yeah.
And he's just like, nah. I wonder if we'll have a few crossovers today because that is actually my number 8.
Is it really?
It is.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
Because you got to think about like this is take you back to the 90s.
Yeah.
It's like late 90s. This is one of the first kind of superhero movies that wasn't shit.
Yes.
Like in the you know what I mean? Like this is the first one that you kind of saw that was like, holy shit. Like you had plenty of movies before it, and I know, people are going to rage at me like, what about Batman 89? Batman 89 was cool, but it wasn't like this kind of darkish, violent-y kind of thing, which, I tend to enjoy a little bit more. So this was the first thing where you're like, holy shit, like motherfuckers are being cut up.
And they're getting like just turned to ash.
Yeah, I like it.
Loved it.
And obviously the sick 90s techno.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
Everyone was into techno back then.
Everyone was into techno. And
I don't think there was any other music out back then.
There wasn't. And that song in particular was on repeat
on
my CD player in my car for the longest time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Flash guy with a CD player in his car in the 90s.
In the 90s. It was the late 90s. Come on. Give me a break. Yeah. So 100% with you. So you're number 10, my number 8.
Yeah.
All right.
What's
Excellent.
your number 10?
So my number 10. Yeah, I like kids. Kids are cool.
You wouldn't hold my baby earlier.
I don't like little kids.
Oh, okay.
Because they're like so fragile and stuff. I like my kids sweary and violent. So I have put Hit Girl versus the bunch of thugs in the apartment from 2010's Kick-Ass.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here. This is my number 8.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. It's going to be Cross Up City.
Yeah. What a great scene.
Oh, such a good scene. Now, it is the first time I think I'd ever seen like a kid on screen.
Yes.
And she's just right from the get-go. She's like just swearing, dropping the C-bomb in like the first line. And I'm like, hang on a sec. I am fucking in. Let's see what happens. And then she just rips shit up for like a good 3 minutes after that.
Oh yeah, it's a decently long fight scene. It's perfectly like choreographed.
Yeah.
And it has like the thing that really sealed the deal for me is she does this like really cool thing where she's like shooting everyone and she flicks like the magazines out of her belt.
Oh, that's a different scene.
Is it?
Yeah, so I'm talking about the apartment scene where Kick-Ass goes to like they're like the thugs, and Kick-Ass goes to the apartment because it's his girlfriend's ex-boyfriend or something like that, and then they start kicking the shit out of him, and he tases that guy in the face, and then he's about to get like stabbed up, and then Hit Girl comes in and saves that. I think it's the first time that he meets Hit Girl and Big Daddy.
I think this is actually from Kick-Ass 2 as well, the scene I'm talking about.
No, the one you're talking about, because I checked this out like last night to do a bit of research. That's like the hallway kind of like gun battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, before she meets Red Mist and his dad.
Yes.
Yeah. That's that one. And she throws the magazines. Yeah.
And I was just like, that's cool.
Is it?
It's cool.
That was the one thing I saw. I'm like, no.
No, I dug it. And that's why I got onto my list. What are the odds that we had the same character but 2 different fight scenes?
Yeah, weird.
Very weird.
But that's good. It goes to show because Kick-Ass was it was a pretty good movie.
Absolutely.
For its time.
Super dark horse.
All right. What's your number 9 then?
Well, my number 9 is pretty controversial. And
okay.
I
Here
was
we go.
pretty iffy putting this one in.
Right.
But I remember it because it's different.
Right.
And it's a Wolverine fight.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Try and guess which one. You won't get it. It's the one where he's on top of his train. I think the Wolverine.
The Wolverine?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I really like this scene because it's so interesting in the fact that this train, I think it's a bullet train?
Probably.
In Tokyo
they're
or
in
something?
Japan.
Yeah. And this thing's going literally 100 miles an hour. And he's fighting a whole bunch of Yakuza on the top. Let's say that.
Yep.
And they all have their guns and their swords. And, there's the pylons that keep going over the top of the train where they have to keep jumping out of the way.
Yeah.
Super intenseful, super exciting. And it doesn't even have any music to it.
Okay.
So it's just all you're hearing is like the wind blaring and the fighting noises.
Yeah, right.
So,
just like Hugh Jackman's grunts.
Yeah. Ching, ching.
Yeah, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So, and there's like just imminent danger everywhere.
Yeah. That movie wasn't great.
The movie wasn't great, but
it was all right.
The scene that I loved from it is he's on the train and he kind of jumps himself up into the air.
Oh, yeah.
And he just sticks out both his claws like he's flying.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's on my list.
Okay. All right. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. My number 9. Now, I wonder... I really I feel like this is going to be on your list.
Okay.
But I feel like it's going to be probably a lot higher than I've got it. But we'll see. It's from 2009's Watchmen. It's the comedian versus unknown at the time, but we find out later it's obviously Ozymandias.
This almost made it.
Oh, not on your list?
Yeah, this is an honorable mention.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
This is just like such a... Like, this is what Zack Snyder does best.
Exactly.
Like, action set pieces. There's... The choreography is good, but it's also, like, the way it's set to, like, unforgettable as well is playing in the background. And realistically, like, it's a pretty one-sided fight, like, the whole time. So, comedian, might get a punch or two in the entire time.
But they really mean nothing.
But they mean nothing. Like, he's essentially getting flogged up the entire time. But just the way, like, the whole thing is set, and how it, there's like one scene in particular where he's had the absolute shit kicked out of him, but, kind of refuses to give up, gets up. There's like a whole bunch of kitchen knives. He like throws a kitchen knife and it like goes straight past the guy's head. And then he throws the cleaver and the guy catches the cleaver and then throws it straight back. It was so cool.
It's pretty rad.
And then he like gets him and just slams his head into the kitchen counter.
It's brutal.
And that's the thing. Like, it's brutal. It's dark. It's set to a song that it probably shouldn't be set to, but it works perfectly because of it. And then it all culminates in the, obviously, the classic kind of comedian being thrown out the window and the slow-mo glass shards and
the badge.
So I really liked it. I'm surprised it didn't make your list.
Yeah, it was this close.
Yeah.
I could have flipped a coin. I could have flipped a badge over this or my bullet train scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. I feel like that's way better than the bullet train scene, by the way, but that's okay.
But
hey, individual choice.
Exactly.
It's your list, baby. You do what you
and I knew you wouldn't have the bullet train scene.
Yeah, no chance. All right, you're number 8.
So my number 8 was Kick-Ass with Hit Girl. So,
but you had the different scene.
Yeah, I had the different scene. So I had the hallway scene. Yep. So something about hallways, Troy. Is this the only hallway scene to make my list?
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
The only reason why I kind of left this off, because I thought it was really cool as well, but it's too much like just gunplay. It's like John Wick.
Fair.
Although John Wick kicks and throws a bit more.
But she does do a lot of kicking and punching too.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, she jumps up like on the walls and stuff.
Oh, I feel like it's a little bit too few and far between for me.
Oh, hard man to please.
Wow, look, there's just like, It's the magazine flips, man.
I love it. That's why it's in there.
It's so weird. Anyway, so that
just imagine if she fucked that up though.
Oh, you'd be fucked.
Yeah. I'll throw my empty gun at you.
Excuse me. Just got to pick that up. Well, my number 8 is a Blade, the Blood Rave fight scene. So back to you for your number 7.
Wow. I think this one, and my number 7 will shock Troy, and this is why I put it as my number 7.
Oh, God.
And it's the Winter Soldier highway fight scene.
Oh, come on. How is this number 7?
Because I have 6 great ones ahead of it.
I would fucking hope so.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a pretty rad action scene, and it goes for a while.
Did you rewatch it?
Yeah, I did.
Because it's fucking brilliant.
They have Troy. If you hated the magazine thing in the guns,
what happens? What happens that is even remotely close to that?
The knife scene.
What about it?
It is so similar in the scene where Captain America and the Winter Soldier are fighting, going hand to hand. Winter Soldier has a knife and he's like trying to stab Captain America.
Yeah.
And he's fighting and he throws it up and swaps in another hand, tries to stab him.
Yeah.
Cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That's not throwing 2 magazines up in the air and bringing your handguns down on top of said magazines.
I don't think it's like...
Somehow chambering around while doing that. Like...
I don't see there's too much difference there, Troy.
Oh, man. I don't know, man. I think one is the reason why, and this is obviously a lot higher on my list, but it is on my list. But the reason why this is so high for me is because it is so kind of like it's so realistic, and it keeps it kind of grounded. You know what I mean? Like this isn't some ridiculous superhero battle where people are flying around and there's all this like laser eyes and whatnot and all that sort of stuff. This is like 2 guys.
Going at it.
Yeah. Just going hard.
Oi, mate.
Oi. Let's have a punch on.
You want to fight, cunt?
You a Skrull?
You're a Skrull, mate.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the only reason like why the Winter Soldier has the ability to kind of keep up with Captain America is because of his arm and his training and all that sort of stuff.
And all these steroids.
All these steroids and whatnot. But I really appreciate the way that it kind of like, brings this comic book world down to the ground. So yeah, I got to give it mad props.
Yeah.
And the choreography is insane.
Killer. It's killer.
I cannot for a second understand why this is number 7.
You'll see why.
Man, I hope they are the best things you've ever seen in your life.
Oh, they are.
My number 7, on the other hand, is the Batman vs Superman warehouse fight scene.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, this is on my list as well.
Ah, cool. I knew there'd be a few cross-ups, but we'll see how many. This one in particular, this is another, obviously, Zack Snyder fight scene, and I think this is the kind of, like I said it before, but this is the kind of thing that he does so well. These kind of small, tight, intricate, action set pieces,
claustrophobic.
As soon as it gets
juicy.
kind of big and CGI and all that sort of stuff, it kind of
it's too much of a spectacle.
Yeah, it's a bit too much of a spectacle. But I do have something on my list that kind of
contradicts that
a little bit later. But this is Ben Affleck just fucking shit up.
Oh man, this is what cemented him as the best Batman for me.
Oh, 100%.
This scene where, you're expecting him to bust through the door and then bam, through the floor.
Through the floor.
It's like, what?
That's not what bats do.
You got me, man.
Bats come through windows.
And then the guy is just strong AF. He's throwing crates around, killing dudes. It's a bit unrealistic for a human man to do this, but he is jacked.
The only issue that I have with this whole thing is that, he's kicking people across the room.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, we know that he is, at the epitome of what a human can be, I guess. But it's almost like they've powered him up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like Zack Snyder's almost given him powers. And it adds to the value of the scene in a sense, because it's kind of like, these people have no chance. You know what I mean? Like they're absolutely it's showing the difference in levels between a thug versus a Batman.
Exactly. And it even cements that when the thug shoots him in the back of the head.
So cool.
Yeah. And Batman's like, now you've pissed me off.
Yeah.
And it's just it goes up another level.
And there's a lot of kind of multiple assailants on Batman at once, and he's being punched, he's being kicked, he got to get stabbed initially, all that sort of stuff, but there's like some sick gauntlet action as well, and then it kind of all culminates with him like stabbing a guy through the shoulder pretty brutally, and then he goes and finds KG Beast, which
he's gone,
pretty good too,
yeah.
And then Martha happens, and you got to deal with that. So I didn't actually mind Martha.
Yeah, either did I.
Yeah, it's fine. Anyway, that's my number 7. Where is it for you? Higher?
Higher.
Okay, cool. What's your number 7? Are you 7? 6.
6. So my number 6 is Avengers 1 and the Battle of New York.
Yeah.
So this is my spectacle one. This is the one that kind of has everyone in versus everyone.
Right.
And this battle goes for, I swear, close to 30 minutes, Troy.
Yeah, probably. It takes up the whole third act.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
And it's almost like a story in itself, because the team are like coming together, fighting as a team, and then it ends.
Yeah.
So that's the only way that a 30-minute fight scene works.
Yeah.
Is that you make it its own little movie, essentially.
Well, you spend enough time with each individual character as well, kind of doing their thing, and you kind of, you're with Captain America for a bit and watching what he's doing. Then you're kind of with Iron Man, and then you're with the Hulk and Thor.
Yeah.
So you're kind of all over the place. And then, you've also got two completely human people who are just also in amongst it. Just kicking on like Black Widow and Hawkeye.
She would run out of bullets and he would run out of arrows. And then they would have to go sit on the bench.
Yeah. Like we've made this joke plenty of times before, but it's a scene of Hawkeye just running around, like while everyone else is still fighting, just picking up his arrows, and just shoving them back in his thing.
The only thing I think he may have done is he's just got secret deposits all throughout New York.
Has to,
yeah. It's the only way it makes sense.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, that's action movies, though. You know what I mean? Like you're never supposed to count bullets. If you sit there and count bullets, you're going to be like, that is fucking ridiculous.
Your chambers ran out 18 bullets ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I do agree, and the only reason why I left it off the list, like I said, is because it's just it's too much of a spectacle.
Yeah,
like it's not. I wanted to keep my fight scenes kind of a little bit more,
grounded,
a little bit more intimate. So I've kind of went that way instead. But I can see why it would be on there.
Yeah, it's my spectacle fight.
Yeah, I get that.
What's your number 6?
My number 6 is it is Laura / X-23 and Logan versus the Reavers in 2017's Logan.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, this was a late entry because I'd completely forgotten about it. Like, one of my favorite movies of the last couple of years, and I'd completely forgotten about it. And someone, I think it was David Powell, maybe, on the listener community mentioned it, and I'm like, what a fucking dickhead. Not him. Me. Like, Troy, you're a dickhead. And then I went and watched it. I'm like, holy shit, that is brutal.
You know what? I wish I went back and watched it, because I knew there was something great in Logan.
Yeah.
I couldn't just put my finger on it.
Like the whole movie, mate, perhaps?
I mean, in fight scenes.
Yeah, oh, look, it's so good. It's kind of the first time that we get to see her cut sick. It's the first time Logan or Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, whatever, gets to see her cut sick. It's where we realize that she's actually a mutant. And it's essentially, for the most part, it's her versus the Reavers. But then, old man Logan has to get involved a little bit later. And it's how I like my kids, man. Brutal. I just like them.
Forks for hands.
Yeah, forks for hands. Got a knife for a foot. Just, cutting sick.
Changing the game,
Just changing the game. Just stabbing dudes in the neck.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it's ultra violent. But it really kind of like the fact that they've got this 8-year-old kid or whatever she is, and they've made it look as brilliant as they have. I don't know if they had like a midget stunt person.
Oh my God, Troy.
Well, I don't know what to say. Like, do you know what I mean? Like a kid.
It's 2018. You can't say that anymore.
Oh,
I'm offended.
Well, like a little person.
Oh, double offended.
What am I supposed to say?
They're just people, Troy.
Oh my God. Like a smaller person. Imagine, did they just have a smaller than like a small person? Do they have kids? Do they have stunt kids? Is that a thing?
Maybe.
Like, can kids get into stunt work? My whole point is, before this got derailed by political correctness, is that it looked cool. And let's move on before I
Fair
get
enough.
myself into more trouble.
Fair enough. So my number 5 was the BVS warehouse scene.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I think I'm about to steal some of your thunder,
Oh, okay.
as you have already stolen some of mine. My number 5, and this is probably this is gonna trigger some people.
Oh,
This
okay.
is dead set gonna trigger some people. My number 5 is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man versus Doc Ock on the train.
Oh.
Out of Spider-Man 2 from 2004.
Wow,
Yeah.
this is really low.
Yeah, number 5, bro. We're right where it belongs. So this is my number 5, and I guess the reason why I've got it so low is there's no doubt that it's a really good scene. It's not that good a fight scene. Like in the grand scheme of things, it's cool, right? And you've got Spider-Man versing Doc Ock on top of a train, but there are moments where the CGI is pretty shit. It's a product of its time. It's 2004.
Yeah, it's a product of its time. But what's so great about the scene, Troy, is that the fight's not just between Spider-Man and Doc Ock. Doc Ock is like throwing in 100 different obstacles of throwing the passengers out the train. And
This is why it works, and this is why it's made it to number 5, right? But no higher.
this is where it ends.
This is where it ends, because it's all about the culmination of that scene.
Yeah.
And the Tobey Maguire's, like his.
I feel like you're digging another hole here.
No, because somebody needs to say it. His face is ugly. His I'm in pain face it's not good.
I want to see your I'm in pain face and see if you're a glamour.
I ain't trying to be Tobey Maguire. But the whole point is like the him stopping the train is what's so great about this scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's absolutely fantastic.
It's one of the best scenes in comic book movie history.
Oh, look, and I will give it that. Like brought down quite a few levels by Tobey Maguire's ugly, like I'm in pain face.
Wow, you are so un-PC. You're not woke at all today, Troy.
I'm still asleep.
You're wokeless. You're wokeless, mate.
Look, I think it's okay for me to say that Tobey Maguire is ugly.
I don't think it is. I think what you're saying is Tobey Maguire has a stupid, ugly face when he's in pain trying to save hundreds of people.
Yeah. So that's exactly what I'm trying to say. But like the action sequence itself is really good, and but for me it's more, jokes aside, it's more about him actually stopping the train and his kind of battle with the train. So the fight scene would almost be Tobey Maguire versus train, not Tobey Maguire versus Dr. Octopus, which is kind of why I put it at number 5, even though I recognize its brilliance, even if I hate Tobey Maguire's face.
Wow, I don't know how I feel.
Yeah, yours. What's your number 5 then?
No, I'm up to my number 4. Yeah, we're into the pointy end of the game now,
Damn,
Troy.
Okay.
So my number 4 is from Civil War.
Oh,
Iron Man versus Captain and Bucky.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like this scene.
Just couldn't get into it.
Couldn't you?
It's
It's not really the whole fight. There's this one moment where there's Bucky and Captain America just laying into Iron Man while he's down on like one knee.
Yeah.
And it's just going backwards and forwards, and Captain America's throwing his shield, Bucky's catching it, throwing it back.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that is cool.
and then they all get fucked up.
Yeah. To be honest, Iron Man could have ended them at any point.
Yeah.
He was the better man in the fight
Yeah.
because he could have just put him down quite easily.
Well, he did try a few times.
Yeah, but I think he was kind of holding back a bit.
Possibly.
I mean, he was quite upset, that Bucky killed his parents.
Spoiler alert. by the way.
Spoilers. But he never actually went in there with a huge intention of like, I'm straight up going to kill him.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people think he is.
Yeah. Look, I get it. I guess for me, it just, like for everything that it was supposed to be, like it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to make the top 10, purely because like the actual fighting itself, there's a lot of like flying and like, repulsor ray to the face and, this building falls and shit happens and all that sort of stuff.
What about the scene where it slows down and it becomes the comic book cover? That's cool. That's cool.
Look, it's pretty cool. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's not enough to go. You know, like what my whole problem with the thing is that it takes...
You change teams?
No, it takes Iron Man like 2 seconds to figure out Captain America's fighting style from like 5 punches. And it's like, no.
Well, he could have had it on record as well.
When you go back to the comic books, he had over time basically recorded heaps of footage or whatever of Captain America fighting and figured out a way to beat him based on his fighting style.
Just punch him in the face really hard.
But not in 5 punches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it just kind of took it away from me a little bit. It's like...
They didn't even need to mention
analyze. It. Yeah, they probably didn't at all. It's like, analyze fighting style. Punch, punch, punch. I know how to beat you now. You threw 2 lefts and a right. Like, come on, man.
Fair enough.
But, it's a good spectacle.
Yeah. What's your number 4?
The only real bit of spectacle that I have on my list. This is, it's from a little movie called Man of Steel.
Oh.
From 2013.
Okay.
It is Kal-El versus Feora Ul and that other dude whose name I don't know.
Yeah.
The big guy.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the Smallville fight.
Side note, she is still around in the DCEU.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is the DCEU still around?
Got him.
Well, we'll see how Aquaman goes, I suppose. But this whole thing, like, this is what I really like about this fight scene. There is... Like, these people are superpowered.
Yes.
And there is a lot of, there's a lot of flying around and there's a lot of, like flying people through buildings and stuff like that. But there's also a lot of real kind of, like, close combat, but we're both, like, super fast.
Yeah.
And, like, at one point, Superman tries to fly away and old mate just grabs his leg and then, starts flinging him around and stuff. And it's just, like, there's one scene in particular where it's Feora Ul versus, like, some soldiers.
Oh, yes.
And the way it's kind of like cut to show, how fast she is in comparison to these other people, it's like brilliantly done.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is one of my favorite scenes from Zack Snyder, I would have to say.
I regret not having this.
It's done during the day.
Yeah.
Which is what makes it so cool.
It's like so unique.
You can see what's happening. Imagine that. And, there are bits and pieces where the CGI should get like, you kind of think... Like, it should probably get pretty bad, but it manages to stay pretty
strong.
Good.
Yeah.
And there's Superman being thrown into bank vaults. There's trains being thrown. There's like all this shit. Like, there is a lot of spectacle, but there's also just a lot of that really kind of like intimate, close fighting.
It's like a down-to-earth super fight.
Yeah, but just done in a way as, hey, what would actually happen if 2 really superpowered things would punch on with each other?
Oh, yeah.
It'd cause massive damage.
Because I don't think she knows how to fly yet in this scene.
No, I think they're just jumpers.
Yeah.
They're jumpers. They haven't figured out how to fly. I don't think they've figured out heat vision at this point. They haven't figured out how to like block out the sounds, and that's ultimately,
what happens
and how he kind of like beats them. But it's I like, if you haven't seen this scene for a while and you're thinking, Troy, come on, Man of Steel.
Yeah,
we all know that the best fight scene from Man of Steel was Jonathan Kent versus Twister.
Easy.
For
those who missed the Patreon episode, go back and check that out.
But second best is definitely this one. And it is, if you just want to check out that fight scene on YouTube, it's there. So I suggest you go and do that.
Yeah.
Cool. But number 4, because a bit too much spectacle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
What's your number 3?
My number 3 is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh.
And you knew this was coming on the list.
I am dead set surprised this is not your number 1.
Yeah, you know what? I was pretty close to putting it as number 1 just to push you over the edge.
Like,
to make Troy snap.
It's good.
It's great. It's unique. It's different. It is amazing.
Go on then.
What really needs to be said, Troy? You're fighting fighting a ghost, someone who you can't actually get hands on. You're shrinking, you're growing, you're expanding. Troy,
sounds like my life.
It sounds like my waistline.
It's the title of my sex tape. Shrinking, growing, and expanding.
I like it.
Yeah.
Coming to cinemas, but coming spelt differently.
Yeah. Look, it's good.
I know you weren't like as much of a fan of the scene as I was.
Yeah.
But there's just something that Ant-Man and the Wasp do differently that, it's the scale thing, and they make it work really, really well.
Yeah. Look, that's fair. What number was this for you? Number 3.
Number 3.
Damn. That's so high.
It's not that high. Could have been higher.
So you're talking predominantly about the Wasp versus Ghost then?
Yes.
And then I think Ant-Man gets involved a little bit later. Yeah. Look, fantastic scene. I don't rate it as high as you, but that's okay. It's your list.
Yeah.
You do you. My number 3, on the other hand, is cool.
Oh, sure, I'm sure it is.
My number 3 is a Batman vs. Bane round 1 from The Dark Knight Rises.
This is not cool at all.
This is so cool.
I went back and rewatched this scene because I was like, I'm sure this is awesome.
Bro, this whole scene, I don't know what you're kind of like, I don't know what you're looking at.
Nah, it's not good.
There's no score.
Yeah.
There is like next to no score.
Because they couldn't even be bothered to show
that
up for it.
That was your whole point about the Wolverine thing on the train, mate.
Yeah, that built suspense. This built boredom.
Are you kidding me? This lent to the point where Bane breaks the bat.
Who even cares?
I know you were doing this purely just to try to like ruffle my feathers, mate. But
it meant nothing in the end.
What? How?
Batman came back.
Batman comes back. Would you have preferred it if Batman just ended up with a really shit back?
Yes.
And couldn't do anything?
Or he could have been hindered or something like that.
He ended up literally, he couldn't work. The only thing that I hate about this whole thing is the fact that he kind of fixes himself with a sheet.
That's what I mean.
But that's fine.
No.
Like, who cares, mate?
I care.
Like,
Everyone
that's
cares.
not the fight scene.
The orchestra cares because they didn't show up to record the audio for
that
the
is
scene.
not the fight scene. This is basically all this is. This is just like, this is Batman kind of punching on Bane until exhaustion. And then, he tries his little tricks and his tricks don't work. And this shows you how formidable an opponent Bane is. And it basically builds to a point where it's kind of like, holy shit, don't think this guy's going to be able to stop him.
Got a question for you.
Even with his magic knee brace. Didn't work. Didn't do anything.
Maybe you should have borrowed Danny Rand's.
Maybe. Just have one on each leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
How does Bruce ever go back to Selena after what she did in this scene?
I don't know.
It's like, come on, man.
I just don't.
Like, there's billions of other women out in the world, and you go for the one that, like, trapped you?
Yeah. She tried to, like, basically kill you.
Yeah.
Dude. Like, that.
I don't get it.
Jump on Tinder, son.
Yeah.
Do something.
Jump on superhero Tinder.
Yeah. Look, yeah, I don't get that either. But I love this scene. And I know you're talking shit about it to try to get a rise out of me because it's like The Dark Knight Rises or something. I don't know. But whatever, man. It's not working. It did. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is the scene from Spider-Man 2. So the train scene.
Too high.
Doc Ock. No way.
Too high.
No, not at all. This was actually my number 1. I've done a swap out.
Oh.
I've done a swap out.
Why?
Because
Can't stick to your guns, mate.
Well, no, it was like I had a slash through it. So it was like 1/2.
Right, okay.
So I was going to see how my list was going. And after that dismal pick by you, I'm disgusted. I feel dirty.
It's brilliant. Do you know how many times?
I want to go break my own back after hearing that.
Do you know how many times I have like watched that scene?
Yeah, probably the only person.
Maybe. But hey, it's my list.
Yeah.
All right. So shut up.
You can sit in your own little room and watch your little shitty movie scenes.
Well, come on. What's so good about this then?
Troy, we spoke about it.
It's literally an old man versus an ugly Tobey Maguire.
Wow. Again. Digging yourself into that hole.
He's like straining so hard that his third chin pops out.
He probably pooed himself at the same time.
Maybe.
Hey,
Looked
Troy,
like he did.
Troy, he's just a kid.
That dude is at least 40.
We won't tell anyone, though.
All right. Just a high school kid.
Your secret's safe with us.
He's just an ugly 40-year-old high school kid.
Little unknown fact, Troy. Those kids that said were also in that scene?
Yeah.
They were 20 years old.
All right. Is there anything else you want to say about this?
No, we spoke about
too high.
Plenty enough. Not high enough.
All right. Well, my number 2 is the Captain America Winter Soldier freeway scene.
Okay. Yeah. That's way too high.
No,
that's way too high.
You know why? Because like it takes all the spectacle out of it. This is basically just a well choreographed Like just
apart from like all the explosions and cars flipping.
Yeah, there's like 2 explosions, mate.
Yeah.
There's like 2 explosions in the whole thing.
Uh-huh.
Most of the time, it's like a little bit of gunfighting. There's a shield that gets thrown once or twice, I think. And then, there's a whole bunch of knives.
The coolest thing.
Just knives everywhere.
There's one knife.
There's 2 knives.
Is there?
Yeah. Because he loses the first knife.
And that's a cool
And then
swap.
he pulls out the second knife. Because the first knife he pulls out and he does that little like sexy twirl thing in his hands. And then they fight. And then he drops that one. And then he pulls out another knife. And then that's where he does the...
Did he drop it while he's trying to do the sexy cool? He's like, oh, shit.
he's going to like stab him up top. Then he's like, I'll just drop it down here, catch it with my other hand. And he just misses it.
Oh.
And he's like, oh.
At least I tried.
That'll have to stay there.
The coolest thing about the fight scene in this whole Captain America thing
What?
is when he catches the shield.
Oh, yeah, from the earlier scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the coolest part.
Interesting. Well, I don't want to say anything else about it in case it's your number one.
Okay.
But I won't. But I don't think it will be.
I have a feeling we've got the same number one.
We might have the same number one.
I think we have.
Okay. This will be interesting.
So my number one,
Yes.
Troy, is Wonder Woman.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Oh.
Completely different.
No Man's Land. And the
It's not
extended...
a fight scene.
It is. She's fighting the war. And then she can... Troy. And then
Wonder Woman versus the war.
It's an extended scene because it goes from there into the city.
That's fine.
And then the whole scene with her beating the tanks, going up into the watchtower, like literally exploding it with her knees. And then the whole scene with her lasso.
Yeah, could have been in the top 10. But the only reason it didn't make it into the top 10, because I rewatched it, I'm like, I know that's a cool scene.
It's the best scene.
The No Man's Land sequence itself is brilliant, right? The battle in the city or the town or whatever after it is good, but it's very CGI heavy, and some of the CGI does not stand up.
It's because of the glowy rope. It's
it
too
is
glowy. I stand by it. It's too glowy.
The rope's too glowy. That's your problem.
But it's still the best fight scene in a comic book movie.
Nah, because I'm about to tell you what that is, son.
Oh, let's see if you can sway me.
Okay.
What's your number one, Troy?
The number one, right, is from 2014's Kingsman, The Secret Service, the church scene.
Oh, you know what? I
don't know how this didn't make your list, dude.
Almost did. But I didn't want to include it because I was like, I know it's a comic book movie.
It's a comic book movie.
I know it's a comic book movie, but I feel like it's too uproary for what the list would be.
What do you mean?
Because I know our list is going to be mostly real comic book movies, e.g. Marvel, DC, and so on. This here is really left field.
That's because they're most of the comic book movies.
Exactly. And I think you have blown your load on this number one.
How?
It's cool.
Have you seen this scene recently?
Yes.
This whole sequence from start to finish is just perfectly executed, perfectly choreographed violence. Now, just because no one's a fucking superhero doesn't mean that it's not a comic book movie, right? This is kind of like the whole thing that I was trying to get into. It's like it's all confined within a church. There's mayhem going around on the outside. So every time you watch this scene, you see something else. Like you're seeing somebody else murdering somebody else in the background in some sort of fantastical way.
Yeah.
And it's great. And then you've got Harry kind of stuck in the middle. This is Colin Firth, man. This is like 40
Guy's like 60 years old.
I was going to say 40-something. This is like 50-something-year-old proper English gentleman Colin Firth cutting sick.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I do. The scene is really fun. I enjoy it. But the fact that you've put it as number one...
Because it's the best. It's the best of them. And that's where number one goes.
Now,
there's very limited CGI. I think if there's any, like I don't even really know, like obviously you're going to get like
there'll be some camera trickery.
Well, not so much. Like obviously a lot of the like the gunshots and stuff like that, they're probably not practical effects and you know whatnot. That's fine. But everything else is kind of like it's just beautiful choreographed mayhem. And it's, you know, set to Freebird by Leonard Skinner.
Ah, that's what it was set to. I was going to ask you what the song was.
Yeah.
The song is better than probably what The song makes that fight scene.
I think you're just trying to, like, I really honestly believe that you're just trying to be argumentative, and you shat the bed by not putting this somewhere on your list.
No, not at all.
I can't believe neither of our number ones were on the other person's list.
Yeah, that's insane.
Man,
I can't believe that.
All it does is reinforce the fact to me that we shouldn't be friends.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, that's the show, and I thought it was an absolute cracker. And if you thought it was too, there's 3 things that you can do to help the show.
That's right. You can go to iTunes and leave a 5-star rating and review. You can go to patreon.com/ComicConPod and sign up to become a Patreon to help support the show on a monthly basis from as little as $1 a month. Or you can share the show around social media with your friends, whoever. That'd help us out a lot as well.
That's the best thing you can do.
It is. Yeah. And also, didn't mention this, but hey, let us know what your number 1 fight scene would be.
Oh, yeah.
And who's right.
Who had the better list?
It's probably me.
No, I think it's me. What we might do is we might copy our friends over at the Countdown and put up a little poll to see who had the best list.
Okay.
But we did have a couple of crossovers.
We did.
So I guess it'll really come down to who likes Spider-Man more than the Kingsman.
You had a lot of shit on yours too.
Yeah, but you had more. I was really surprised.
What are we doing next week, you fuck?
Next week, we are watching Venom.
We are.
Venom.
Or are we?
We are Venom.
I don't know.
Have you seen it yet?
Oh, no, I haven't. I was gonna check it out this week, but life finds a way.
Yeah, life finds a way
to get in the way of things that you want to do. So I'm gonna check it out some point this week.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I am going to go on Cheap Tuesday because I've heard it's pretty mixed.
Yeah, mixed. Yeah, very mixed.
Yeah.
I've heard everything from an absolute train wreck.
Wow.
To
if only Spider-Man was there to save it.
Oh, imagine that. Tobey Maguire's ugly face just on camera for longer. That's all we need.
Who's uglier, Tobey Maguire or Venom?
Oh, it's tough. Anyway, that's happening next week. In the meantime, you can join in on the conversation at various social media outlets, which are
Comic Confidential on Facebook. We also have a listener community on there. So if you want to jump in there and chat, talk, post with other like-minded individuals, simply search.
You can do that.
You can do that, yeah. It's just simply search Comic Confidential Listener Community. We also have Instagram and Twitter. That is at Comic Con Pod. If you go there, just
let
us know.
Just post something.
Yeah, say, hey guys.
We might see it.
Hey guys, I listened to this week's episode and I'm hitting you up on Twitter.
We'll get it in about 6 months.
Yeah.
We also have a website.
That's comicconpod.com. Past episodes, future episodes, and everything in between.
Including all the other shows on the network.
Yeah, that's right.
They're all there. Go check them out.
Yeah.
What are you doing listening to us for?
God.
Anyway.
This show's done.
We're finished.
We're washed up, they say.
Yeah. Look, thanks for listening, you guys. As always, I'm Troy.
I'm Cade.
And this has been Comic Confidential, a pop culture podcast.
Cheers.
Peace. Tobey Maguire is the ugliest son of a bitch.
Oh.
This is a little quick shout out, a little after the credits shout out to my boy Lenny.
Oh,
who
he's gonna murder you.
Who is a massive fan of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
He is the best looking one.
Those movies are great, right? 1 and 2, cool. 3, it's not that great.
It's not that bad though.
But they are made infinitely worse by the fact that Tobey Maguire is 40 and just ugly.
But you know what? It was of its time to do that in movies.
To what? Be ugly?
Yeah, and old.
It's like the Dawson's Creek effect.
Yeah, it really is.
Or like the Beverly Hills 90210.
There's like Joe Manganiello in the.
That dude was 42.
Yeah, and he's like the high school bully,
playing like a 17-year-old
and the guy's
bully.
got like 18-inch arms.
Yeah.
Walking down the hallway.
Wasn't he a bit wasn't he chubbier in that?
Yeah, maybe.
Or was he
was bulking, bro.
Oh yeah, it was bulking season.
Yeah. But you know what, Troy? I'm going to hand it to you.
Yeah.
This visual version of the show
worked better than you thought.
Yeah, it worked a lot better.
Yeah, see? Yeah. Shut your damn mouth. I'm the captain now.
If you love this podcast, then head over to comicconpod.com to check out the other incredible shows on our network.
Whether you love comedy, pop culture, or movie and TV reviews, CC Radio has got you covered.